Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's school committee meeting. Olivia, could you lead us for the last time? Pledge of allegiance, please.
I would be happy to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, prior to the start of the meeting here, we were back up at the high school where we had a recognition of our retirees. We would just like to recognize Rita Detweiler, Kathy Brewer, Sally Oksanish, Julia Bruzy, Susan Harbison, and Nancy Penny, and thank them all for their service to the Littleton School District. Now, this is the first meeting since our last local election, so we need to go through our reorganization. So the process for that is Kelly Clenchey will dissolve the current board, the current positions, and Kelly Clenchey will take control of the meeting for a few minutes. And we will accept nominations and vote on the chair, vice chair, and secretary.
Sure. I hereby declare the previous board to be void, and on that note, I will accept nominations for the position of chair.
I'd like to nominate Mike Fontanella for the position of chair.
Any other nominations? Seconder? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Abstentions? Oh, give me my moment here. Opposed? Motion carried. Congratulations, Mike.
All right, thank you. All right, we need a nomination for vice chair.
I'd like to nominate Darrell Baker for vice chair.
Is there a second on that motion?
Second.
Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Hearing none, all those in favor of Darrell as vice chair?
Aye.
Opposed? None. All right, we need a nomination for secretary.
I nominate Jennifer Wilson for the position of secretary.
Seconded.
Motion made and seconded. Are there any other nominations for secretary? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. All right, now we need to quickly go through the list of subcommittees. And so we get into my agenda. Actually, Kelly, do you have those in front of you?
Carol, send it down and I'll take it over.
Oh, I can send it over.
You don't trust us?
Official. No, just leave it, I'll collect it after.
Thank you. Okay, so the first subcommittee is the Bradford Sampson Scholarship Trust. This committee becomes active during the month of May. A couple of meetings to determine the distribution of available scholarships, money to graduating seniors and alumni. The current assignment is Mike Lazzoni, so we definitely need someone to fill in for this position. Is there anybody who's interested?
Since I won't have any kids next year, I'll do that.
Okay. We have a permanent school planning committee. We don't have anybody there. I don't think we, at this point, we need one. If we think we're going to build another building, we'll activate this committee, but right now, it's not on the agenda. The third subcommittee is evaluation. Involves management of the superintendent's evaluation, including compiling individual member ratings and presentation of results. Daryl's been carrying this one for a few years now. You want to keep
I'll
going?
keep doing it unless somebody else wants
Does
to.
anybody else
take it
want
over.
to jump on it, or everybody's good with Daryl doing it? Please step forward, Daryl, you keep it.
That one is like a hand grenade that don't really jump on, no.
The Regionalization Study Committee, the current assignment right now is just Kelly kind of holding the seat, and again, this is pretty much a dormant topic. If it becomes active, we'll go ahead and appoint someone from the committee on there, but we can leave it the way it is. Municipal Building Committee, this is kind of a little bit of a heavy lift, literally and figuratively. No, wait, you don't have to actually do the building, right?
No.
Okay, so it's only figuratively a heavy lift. Does require extra meetings. Daryl's been doing it. Do you want to keep doing it?
Yeah, I'll continue doing that.
Does anybody want to do it instead of Daryl? I didn't think so. All right. The Technology Committee, currently Matt Hunt.
I'll keep it if nobody else wants it. If not, I'm willing to part with it.
Alright, sounds like you still got it. Legislation involves keeping up to date on pending legislation. Currently, it's Mike Mazzoni, so we do need someone to help out with this one.
I can do that.
Alright. All right, policy subcommittee. One person will take on the organizational lead for this work. It's currently Jen. Do you want to keep going with it, Jen?
You guys are okay with that?
Yeah, that's good. I mean, 1 year, you got your feet wet, now you're ready to really bring it home, so let's leave you there.
I mean, I'll offer to help as necessary.
Yeah,
With that.
We'll talk.
Okay.
We'll get it.
Oath to bills and payroll, stopping by central office to sign the payroll and stuff. I have proximity to Littleton, I'm happy to keep doing it. So. Liaison with town government, service school committee contact with the town boards. This is typically the chair, and I'm happy to keep doing it. Negotiations to work with school committee attorney and the superintendent during negotiations with collective bargaining units. We just finished a contract, so this isn't gonna be a very active one. It was Mike Mazzoni and I. You know, there could be a situation where there's some impact bargaining on one particular matter or another. So we should probably go ahead and put 2 people on there that are interested in doing
I'd
it.
take it if no one else wants it.
Okay. Anybody else wanna help Matt out? I don't mind keeping my name on it if nobody else is interested. Okay, all right. Representative to Community Services Park and Rec Department. You know, we have the MOU, they're one of the 3 parties to that, so, and there's other times that our paths cross on different things, so it's currently Matt Hunt. Matt, do you want to keep it?
Anybody?
Anybody?
I'll take it, I guess.
All right. Budget Subcommittee is currently Matt and I.
Yeah, I kind of just getting the hang of it. I'd like to stay on another year.
I would like to keep doing it as well. It does require some extra meetings and stuff. You know, this is a subcommittee. We did a lot more of the budget process in this committee setting than we did in past years, and I fully expect that to continue to be the trend, so I think we're good with that. Safety and security, the current assignment is Mike Mazzoni, so we need to find a replacement.
I'd like to do that.
Okay. Everybody good with that?
Yep.
All right, Erica?
This doesn't matter.
CPAC is currently Jen. Are you good with that, Jen?
Yep, I can stay
Okay.
on.
We have school start time here. We had an effort on that, and it was Daryl and Mark Rombacher when he was on there. At the moment, we're not actively contemplating it. We can certainly revisit it. We don't have to do it as a subcommittee thing. If we think it's business we want to undertake, I think we should just put it on the agenda. And if we get to a spot where we think it's going to require effort, then we'll go ahead and, you know, designate who's going to carry the water on that one.
Yeah, we should actually probably discontinue that as a formal subcommittee
Yeah.
until we need to reconstitute.
Well, my attitude would be that, you know, if we're going to do it, we're going to study it, we're going to do it, and then it's going to be kaput because we're done. I mean, it's not something you revisit year in, year out, you know. So if we want to add that to the agenda, we can certainly discuss that as a committee as a whole, and then depending on what direction that takes, we'll decide how we want to allocate responsibility for that. All right, that is it for subcommittees, unless I missed anything, Kelly?
No, pretty good.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna have to excuse myself for
Academic awards night?
Academic awards night.
You'll be a dad. Yeah, it's not you, you're not getting any.
No.
All right, now we can move into the general business on the agenda. The first thing we have is the consent agenda, minutes from May 10th, 2018, oath to bills and payroll.
Make a motion to approve the what is that?
Consent agenda.
The consent agenda from May 10th.
Yep. Second, motion made and seconded. Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Erica's abstaining because she wasn't on the committee at that point. All right. We have 2 sections of the meeting for input from interested citizens. Are there any interested citizens who would like to speak before the school committee? Seeing none, we will go into recognition. First one is Olivia Rosenblum is finally leaving.
Then you don't get a cookie. You sounded too happy about that.
I'm happy for you. I'm not happy that you're leaving, but I'm happy for you that you are leaving.
We're happy for the cookie.
Right? Olivia, it was 2 full years, correct? Or was it 3?
3, because I started sophomore year.
Yeah, 3 full years. You have the longest tenure of anyone who we've had come to fill that position.
Do we have
You did it.
anybody in line
Yes.
to take over?
We have 2, one of whom is actually here. So Kriti Sharma over there and Madeline O'Meara are going to be sharing the role
Okay.
based on commitments that they normally have during the school year.
Does Pretty have what it takes?
Oh, I think so. Both of them are in the theater department, so that's already like check plus for them. They're both great public speakers, and they're both heavily involved, almost as much, and for sometimes even more involved within the school setting than I am. And they're both sophomores, which means you guys get them for a full 2 years if they choose to continue doing it for that long.
Why wouldn't they?
I don't know.
Of course they will.
We would definitely like to recognize, we're kidding around because she was a good person to have at the meetings for that, but she also was a significant contributor. The updates you gave are terrific, but people that tune into the meetings would often hear Olivia weigh in on a particular topic on the agenda that goes well beyond the updates she gives us on the schools. And it always helps to have a student perspective, but your perspective was very informed, very knowledgeable, concise, and to the point. We really appreciated what you offered us. And it's going to be, we will miss it. I mean, we hopefully will continue to have good, perspective from the students.
I think you will. I made them a handbook.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, they have guidance on how to do this. They're
I
prepared
don't
and
know
ready
why
to
I
go.
act surprised at something like that. So that's terrific. All right.
So I
Kelly,
do have
yes.
one last report.
Well,
Well,
you
because
should
I
give it to us.
noticed that I'm being recognized, but there's no actual part for me. So I'm just gonna slip that in real fast. So as Mike said, this is my last meeting as your student representative. It surely is not my last meeting in total. So each of you got 2 things from me and then cookies once I leave. You got a thank you card, and for Erica, it's a welcome as well, to read at your leisure. And then the second is about my gold award, which you guys helped approve land usage for. I've officially earned the award, and we are having a celebration next Thursday at the high school from 7 to 10, which the date doesn't interfere with a school committee meeting. So I mean, unless you have something in your personal life that conflicts with it, your presence is greatly welcomed and appreciated. Then more in the school as a whole, this Friday is a half day for everyone, except funny enough, the seniors who will be on our class trip. Shaker Lane this past Tuesday was their concert, and it is one of the best elementary school concerts I've seen in a while. And then May is Kindness Month, so the community meeting on Wednesday focused on like kindness as a whole. Students were each given a kindness coin and explained that their mission is to spread kindness this month by handing out their coins to others they see being kind. And so the hope is that by the end of the month and end of the year, the coins will have traveled between so many hands, and each time you see a kindness, you pass it on. At Shaker Lane also, field days are coming up next week, and Principal Kane would like to thank Mrs. Carlson and Ms. Taylor for all their efforts in making it happen. It's a really fun day for the students, and we started it at the high school for our seniors as well, so really ties it all in together. And they have their art show on June 6th. Russell Street had relay recess on the 18th, which coincides with Relay for Life just during school. Tonight they have an Empowering Families meeting. Don't know a lot about that, but it's happening at, it was this morning. It happened at 7:30 this morning. And then June 7th, they have their 5th grade spring band and chorus program, and that will be at the high school. The middle school, I was joking with Principal Temple before everyone got here, but it's kind of like the quietest week in Littleton right now. The 6th graders are gone in Nature's Classroom, the 8th graders are gone in DC, and the seniors are just gone doing random things. The middle school also had MCAS this week. And the only other big thing coming up for the middle school right now is their performances of Aesop and George, which is their spring play. There were so many kids in the production that there are 2 casts, so you have 4 opportunities to see the show instead of just 3. And they're following the weekend of graduation. So the first one is the Thursday before, 5/31, and then the remaining 3 performances are divided on the 2nd and 3rd of June. 2 of them being on the 2nd and then 1 on the 3rd. The high school seniors' last day of classes, like I said before, is the 18th. And so was Relay for Life. And Littleton took on a lot more leadership with it this year, especially the students, because Relay for Life as an organization merged 2 more towns in with our event. So it wasn't just Littleton, Westford, it was Littleton, Westford, Acton, Boxborough, and North Middlesex, I think. So it was a much bigger event, and our students did a really nice job organizing it. Senior send-off and awards are tonight, which I will be leaving shortly for. And the seniors graduate on the 1st of June. Ooh, last one.
I know, wow.
Done.
That might have been your longest one ever.
I know, I was looking at it. It's a full sheet of paper this week.
Very thorough.
There's a lot going on at the end of the year.
There always is. Olivia, we have a plaque that we'd like to present you as a small token of our appreciation. And Chairman Fontanella, if I could get you to come up here as well. Picture. Congratulations, Olivia.
And one more? Got it.
Second one was a shot.
You were blocked. I was gonna be like an
I know.
awkward person in the background.
And next on the agenda is our last Teaching and Excellence Award that we'll be giving this year. And at this time, I would like to call on Principal Kane to tell us about this year's recipient at Schcmte School.
Great. Thank you, everyone. This is on? Okay. It is my extreme pleasure to bestow this year's Teaching and Excellence Award to Grade 1 teacher Allison Bullock. I should have known when I stepped into Shaker Lane last summer that Allison was a teacher who makes things happen. Allison sought me out to share that she wanted to try out a new style of teaching math this year. As a principal, you can imagine my delight of having a staff member wanting to create her own path, succeed or fail, but either way, willing to take the risk, something we tell our students to do every day. Over the past 19 years, Allison has been an instrumental part of the Shaker Lane School. She began in 1999, spending 2 years as a special education teacher and 17 as a first grade teacher. Allison seeks out professional opportunities to grow as an educator. This year, she took the initiative to explore the responsive classroom approach to teaching by attending a training and has begun implementing strategies based on the book Power of Our Words. She has led her team in the exploration of guided math as she researched this topic last year to better support her students. Allison expressed a desire to learn more about guided math and visited another district to observe this instruction and has enrolled in an online guided math course this summer. These are just a couple of examples of Allison's continuous desire to learn more about the best ways to deliver instruction and support her students. Allison sets high expectations for her students and herself. She provides learning experiences for her students that are engaging and student-centered. Whenever I visit Allison's classroom, they are observed taking part in a new experience, and more often than not, they are the directors of their learning. This is truly the essence of 2018 teaching, learning by doing. This year, Allison became a Seesaw ambassador. Seesaw is a digital portfolio that houses student work. As a Seesaw ambassador, her application and acceptance into this community of educators afforded her with a training that recognizes her as an expert in this program, where she takes the initiative to teach new staff how to use this program. Allison is also the technology team leader for first grade and me. She is the one we go to when we have a question and is always willing to help us, putting her colleagues above all else. 2 words that describe Allison are collaborative and collegial. Without a doubt, she takes the time to help anyone in need. What I love most and admire about Allison is her humbleness. As I sat down to discuss with her some highlights about why she should receive this award, I learned more about what she actually does behind the scenes. She is not one who seeks out accolades, needs to be recognized for her accomplishments, or praised for the everyday instruction she imparts on her students. In fact, when I asked her to stop by my office And when she had a minute in which I shared with her that I wanted her to receive this award, she said, "I think I'm going to be sick." Each one of our teachers at Shaker Lane possesses talents that a principal dreams of having under one roof. This decision was not an easy one to make, as we are fortunate to have such a talented group of educators be the first ones that welcome our Littleton Tigers into school. I thank Allison for being part of this amazing staff and congratulate her on being the recipient of this year's Excellence in Teaching Award for the Shaker Lane School.
We have the best fan section of all the awards. Let me rephrase it. Maybe not the best, the rowdiest.
Well, thank you all for being here. It's truly a humbling experience to be accepting the Teaching and Excellence Award. It is an honor to serve the students in Littleton. Nothing in my experience has prepared me for an award like this, especially to recognize something that I love to do. I couldn't be here without the phenomenal students, colleagues, and parents that I get to work with each and every day. I'd like to leave you with one thing. Just because I received this award doesn't mean that I have all the answers, doesn't mean that I never make mistakes, because if you're in my room, I do. Doesn't mean that I finished my journey. I'm still learning, and we're all still learning. Thank you so much. I'm truly touched.
Come on up to the front.
Perfect. So 1, 2, 1.
Congratulations.
All right, they haven't beat everybody.
Normally I invite people to stay for the rest of the meeting, but I'm not asking you to. We got serious business to take care of. All right.
And Olivia did such a great job at giving us an update. We can go right into presentation.
All right. Great. First, we have Timlin Rossius here to give us an update on the PTA's activities.
Hi, everyone. I'm Timlin Rossius. For those of you that don't know me, I am the president of the Littleton PTA. I was here earlier in the year so I'm just back to give you some breakdowns and some figures of what PTA did this year. So this year we had 266 members, 225 families, 21 staff, which staff almost doubled, which is nice to see. Let's see, we raised almost $40,000 this year alone. And some of our big events were our annual appeal at Shaker Lane and Russell Street, Winterfest, basket raffle ice cream social at Russell Street, bingo night, the middle school cornhole, holiday bazaar, and this year the high school trivia night raised $1,900 because we moved it off campus and moved it to the VFW. So we actually didn't have enough room for everyone who wanted to participate. So we'll be looking into a new place next year. Maybe, I don't know, or maybe doing it twice next year. Let's see, we put over 900 books into Shaker Lane and Russell Street alone in the classroom, libraries, and the specialist rooms through Scholastic Book Fair. Donlands Tape for Education was up this year $50,000 to $329,000. This gave each school, what they do is they transfer the money into points, and each principal gets it split. and they get a catalog to choose one. So they each got 81,000 points to shop from. And Mary Beers, shout out to her, because she has been doing this for years. Alone, she adds up all those tapes, like every year. And she collects them. She goes to the schools, she goes to the library, she collects them all. So the items included, I heard pencils, playground balls, to label makers and easels and fans at the middle school for the second floor classrooms, I believe. So all the classrooms got new fans for the rooms. Let's see. So what we funded this year, in-school field trips, we funded things like Drumlin Farms, Museum of Science, Discovery Museum, Potato Hill Poetry, Earthview, the Archaeological Dig. We had local author Chris Eslin came in and spoke to a lot of the classrooms individually. Helen Keller, Pumpernickel Puppets, a Sudan speaker came in at the middle school. Field trips outside of school. We helped with many of the busing field trips. We gave a certain amount of money per child at all the schools this year because we were able to this year at the high school also because of that fundraiser. We give every year money towards the Krista McAuliffe 5th grade trip, and this year we were able to raise our amount that we donated to $2,000 so that it cut the parents' price down. And we sent 5 girls to the STEM conference again at the high school level. Items that we actually purchase, we do the clap-off t-shirts for 2nd grade. We do the basketball night t-shirts at Russell Street. We do the Brain Pop license and multiple magazine subscriptions. We were able to buy a water filling station for the high school. And 3 digital cameras, games for the classrooms, owl pellets. Let's see, other items that we oversee or coordinate. We do the Shaker Lane yearbook. We do the Russell Street book fairs, the box tops on top of Donlan's tapes, 6th grade kids' nights out, student recognition breakfast, staff appreciations at all the schools and the district. And we do the senior send-off tonight. We coordinate that and set that all up and break it all down. So we couldn't do it without a great group of parents and teachers, and the administrators are wonderful to work with. But we just wanted to give you guys a breakdown of what we did. But we had a good year, and we actually would like to see our numbers increase next year at the school level, like for staff to come in. We've actually gotten staff members at the high school now, and I had gotten, when I was the lead rep at Shaker Lane, I had gotten staff to come to the meetings. So I remember Margie Packer would come as her, like as the liaison to the teachers at night. Now, I'm not sure who comes now because I'm out of that school, but 2 teachers every meeting. I know that at the high school, there is at least 1 teacher at the meeting, and it's a morning meeting. They just try to figure out who's going to be able to make that meeting. And we've worked our meeting schedule around. I know they were working on it at the middle school also, and Russell Street has now come in. Because we'd like to just hear more from the staff at what we need. I mean, we'd like to raise the money and put it back into the school for things that the kids or the staff actually needs that we're not in budget, that they can't, give to the kids in budget. So, that's it. Any questions?
Yes, thank you.
Actually, I won't say this out loud, but being president is actually easier than being the lead rep at the schools. It is, because I'm not in the trenches anymore doing the work. So I come here twice a year and 1 meeting a month.
We appreciate you coming twice a year. We've been doing this for a couple of years now, and it just gives everybody a significant context for,
Yes.
everybody kind of has this nebulous idea of what the PTA does, and they think it's a good idea, but to hear in the detail and the scope of what you're
Right.
doing is really meaningful. So we appreciate you coming out a couple
And
times a year.
everyone's invited to come to our executive board meeting. It's the 2nd Monday of the month at 7:30 at the high school. We go September through June. We take December off because December is a crazy month for everybody. But we do. And now, seeing nobody really came, we're going to do our last meeting off-site and
Good
have
for
a
you.
little party for ourselves. But thank you to all of the
All right,
administrators.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have 2 school improvement plan updates from Shaker Lane and middle school tonight.
Okay. Again, these are just the highlights. The entire plan is in the information that you have. So in the curriculum and instruction over the next 3 years, what we are working on is exploring a systematic multisensory phonics program to be implemented in the general education setting. I've talked a lot with staff this year about having this type of program that is solid, that we've researched. So we are currently looking at 3 different types of programs. We'll probably pilot a few next year and then have a solid foundational program for phonics. Engaging professional collaboration, vertically K-5 to align curriculum expectations. We're actually beginning this tomorrow between Shaker Lane and Russell Street. The 2nd grade teachers and 3rd grade teachers will be meeting tomorrow morning to look at what are the expectations in 3rd grade and how can we raise that level so it's a continuous focus from the 2nd grade to 3rd grade. So we look forward, Principal Bazidlo and I look forward to that. This year we began the implementation of the Fountas and Pinnell Benchmark Assessment System for Reading, which is a comprehensive assessment that we administer 3 times a year, fall, winter, and spring. It gives us a lot of data on the reading behaviors of children, how they're figuring out words, how they're sounding out words. It also gives us their fluency, accuracy, and I'm losing the last word, I'll come to it. But it gives us more a comprehensive look at their reading behaviors. We are exploring a guided math approach. There are several teachers that have tried this out this year. In the fall, we have Dr. Nikki Newton coming in for our professional development, our full-day professional development in November, and she is the math guru on guided math. So we're looking forward to moving towards that. Guided math approach is a little bit more direct instruction with children. When you think of guided reading, we take children and teach them at the level they're at. Well, we could do that with math as well, because you have a gamut of learners in front of you. So we group children at their ability level, and we instruct them in a small group setting. We are beginning to implement a standards-based report card. This actually happened under Mr. Faraday before I came in, and we cleaned up a few things this year, and next year we'll be moving towards a standard-based report card in kindergarten, kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd grade. Under professional development, we will continue to maintain a site-based professional development plan that develops teachers and school-wide improvements, both in school when we do our staff develop professional development and district-wide. Developing something new this year, develop a Shaker Lane School Mentor program, that should be in there, for 1st-year support of new staff. What we talked a lot at our school advisory council meetings is we have a district new staff orientation, but we don't have something specific to Shaker Lane, like where everything is, who to contact, who's the team leader. So we talked a lot about that and coming up with this handbook that would be identified just for Shaker Lane. So we look forward to developing that over the next few years. Providing training and support for staff in the further development of social emotional curriculum. We currently have our 2nd step program, but we are looking at other pieces of social thinking and emotional management for students. Provide professional development opportunities related to technology integration for current and new initiatives. Under community and communication, we are always striving to improve our communication through the Shaker Lane School website. We actually launched a survey to parents this summer that the school advisory committee put together. We're looking at that data to try and figure out, and we had 4 or 5 simple questions that asked about the information that they find on our website and what we can do to better push out the information to parents. Exploring partnerships with Littleton High School students to serve as role models and volunteers for Shaker Lane students. Continue partnerships with local community members, organizations, and businesses providing students with authentic curriculum connections. And we do this in a wide variety of content areas, and we'll continue to do so. And continue to build school-wide community building events. So this year we started community meetings every month, and our focus is on heart. As Olivia Rosenblum had shared yesterday, we had our community meeting in May. We focused on May is Kindness Month in Massachusetts, so we build that whole school community meeting each month, amongst a number of other events. Under climate and culture, we have developed a safety committee at Shaker Lane, and we look at this committee to explore and implement emergency protocols, procedures, preparedness, and any type of drill that we do at the pre-K to 2 level. So we will continue to look at that, look at those protocols. We have met maybe 4 or 5 times this year Next year, we'll probably meet once a month. Enriching the HEART program, which is the development of social emotional learning skills. To enrich the HEART program to encompass new strategies that develop awareness and skills in social emotional learning. Developing a scheduling committee to evaluate and create unified arts and duty schedules. I'm excited about this. This was actually something I did in my last district, and it worked out well, where teachers are able to join the committee, not for personal advantages, but more looking at equity across the building and making sure we're doing what's best for the right age of students. And technology, create global connections, opportunities for staff and students. Provide before-school tech ed session offerings, which do happen on Thursdays. We have Tech Thursday mornings, and that is generated by staff desire, surveys out to the staff that what they want to learn about, and then we put those professional development opportunities in on Thursday mornings. Explore resources excuse me, to implement and create a makerspace location. We are looking forward to turning our library into a quasi-makerspace location that's appropriate for our little guys. And identifying and aligning technology skill sets by grade level, which is an ongoing thing that we continue to look at the ISTE standards and other curriculum diagrams to make sure that we're aligning our technology by grade level. Any questions?
Jen, comments?
Sounds great.
Love the mentor idea. I think that'll be a really good step for the system. Shaker Lane.
Eric, any thoughts?
Not right now.
Thank you. For people that want to take a more in-depth look, Michelle gave us the kind of the highlight, but there's a lot of supporting documentation in the packet that'll be available online, and there's action steps, indicators of success, timelines, things like that. So if anybody's interested in more detail on exactly how some of these things are going to be implemented, that's where they'll go to look for it. So thank you, Michelle. All right. Cheryl, middle school?
We have the middle school highlights for the school improvement plan and curriculum instruction and assessment to update and revise curriculum maps in all content areas to align with the Common Core and vertically align in all content areas. Develop and implement transdisciplinary units and projects. That's a continued project. Begin a comprehensive review of the middle school social studies program. We've recently completed ELA and science, so we're moving on to social studies. Research, design, and implement a digital citizenship program. This is constantly changing, a fairly moving target. So that's something that we started this year and will continue to research into next year. Research and implement strategies, programming related to the social emotional learning needs of all students, and develop a school-wide approach to teaching research skills. In professional development, maintain a site-based professional development program and also provide professional development opportunities related to technology integration and implementation specific to products and tools currently being used, as well as new initiatives. We have a new makerspace that we just recently completed at the middle school. It's a very exciting space, and students and teachers have begun to move in there and use it, but we really want to do some work over the summer and as part of our professional development in the fall to really use that space well. In community and communication, to explore partnerships with local community members, organizations, and businesses that provide authentic learning connections, and also continue to implement and develop consistent and efficient communication methods to be used between Littleton Middle School and the stakeholders. Climate and culture, continue to review and implement emergency protocols and procedures, including ALICE training. Collaborate and plan with the business manager and facilities director to address school facility needs, and also develop and implement a student recognition program. We have experimented with a few different things over this year and last, and we're looking to solidify a program. In technology, continue technology integration at the middle school. As I indicated, this will include technology use in the makerspace. Increased types, frequency, and effectiveness of technology use in the instructional practices. We have implemented on Thursdays a member of the tech staff in our makerspace that's available to teachers throughout the day, and that has been really successful to offer opportunities for teachers to get hands-on help with something that they want to use in their classroom. So that has been really beneficial for us. And I do want to give my apology in the presentation that's in the packet. I think that I sent Dorothy a draft that wasn't quite ready. There is an error in the 6th grade student-teacher ratio. The number is 33.5 when it should be 26.8. And pages 10 and 11 should not be included. So I have forwarded a new packet to Dorothy. So my apologies for that. Any questions?
Principal Temple, could you explain those ratios a little more? They're mathematical calculations, but in most cases, the class sizes are lower than that. Could you give
Sure.
an explanation for
So,
that?
in the grade, when the kids get to middle school, it's divided into 5 sections because the kids go to world language class as well. So that's where the numbers come from. And there, it was a simple math mistake on my part. 134 divided by 5 is not 33.5. It is 26.8. So I was going round and round with that. All of our class sizes, because students have choices in their languages, some of the numbers, are bigger or smaller, but right around, that's really an average for each of the class sizes. So so 6th grade should be 26.8, 7th grade is 24, and 8th grade is 22.4.
Okay. Eric, any questions or comments?
No.
Yeah?
I'm good.
All right. Good. Good. All right, thank you, Cheryl.
Thanks.
Under new business,
In your package, you have a list of colleges that our students are going to. Get caught up with it. And our students, our seniors more correctly, were accepted in 143 different colleges and universities. And when they decided what college or university they wanted to go to, we have students attending 58 different colleges and universities. So for a population of 124 or close to that, that's quite a variety of colleges that they're attending. And it's interesting as a superintendent to see the various colleges. I mean, it's all over the nation. We have one person going to Canada, I see, Concordia, and it's again every year we have a similar type of spread of students going to different colleges all throughout our nation. So congratulations to all of our graduates, and the best of luck in their future endeavors.
yeah, I'd also like to thank the guidance office for helping the kids and the families understand the plethora of choices that are out there. And you see a lot of Massachusetts schools, which can often be a economic decision. Plenty of New England schools, but there are also quite a few schools that range across the country, up and down the East Coast, and even out to the where there was University of San Diego was on here. Someone's going there. So we have 2 counselors for, like you say, the 100+ students in there, and they're dealing with the course selections as well as college counseling. But for the fact that we can, with that kind of staffing level, still provide this kind of breadth of acceptance and attendance, I think speaks volumes to the work that staff does. So terrific job by them and the rest of the high school. I'm sure the teachers and the other administrative staff are consulting on that and helping out. So that's great. So it's a terrific representation, and always fun to see. See how all of our alma maters do. Nobody's going to BU this year, but that's okay. They got accepted. We're at the second section of the meeting for input from interested citizens. No? Good, all right. Subcommittee reports. Darryl is our PMBC rep, he's not here. Budget subcommittee, we are kind of in a dormant time here after getting past town meeting. I think policy subcommittee, because Darryl did leave, I think we're going to kick this one to the next meeting, and also give Erica time to get versed in what we're going to talk about. So we'll just push that to the next meeting. And we do have one more meeting scheduled before school gets out, so we'll get it done at that meeting.
7.
Okay. All right. Is there any other business?
Get to have Olivia's cookies.
Yes. We can definitely use cookies. We already had cake.
doesn't get
We already had.
I mean,
My
first
meeting, I get cookies.
Yeah.
I think I did
Yeah,
it.
it's not gonna be
Too
like
used to it.
that. Yeah.
Daryl every now and again used to bring cans.
Just
You're
drinking water.
Candy for politics. We do not need an executive session tonight, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Great. Thank you, everyone.
Another record set.
Yeah.
I mean,